Today, we're diving into a really powerful idea that's completely changing how we look at our most precious resource, water. We're going to explore how Latin America is fighting back against scarcity by turning something we call waste into a wellspring of new opportunities.
So, I want you to start with this question. What if the wastewater flowing out of our homes, our cities, our industries, what if that wasn't an endpoint, but a new beginning? What if it was actually a source of clean water, of energy, and even fertilizer? Now, this isn't some far-off sci-fi fantasy. It's a huge shift in perspective that's happening right now.
You see, for centuries, our economy has pretty much operated on a straight line. We take resources from the earth, we make things, and then we throw them away. It's a linear model. The best way to think about it is like a constantly leaking bucket. We're pouring precious resources in the top, and they're just draining right out the bottom. And this is especially dangerous when that resource is something as vital as water.
So let's take a closer look at why this leaky model is such a massive problem, especially when we zoom in on water in Latin America.
The stakes here are incredibly high. I mean, in huge parts of Latin America, water is already a super scarce commodity. To put it in perspective, think about this. 40% of Peru is arid or semi-arid. For Argentina and Mexico, it's over 60%. And yet, this is where millions and millions of people live. This creates this intense, constant pressure on any fresh water they can find. And that old take-make-waste model just keeps making the problem worse and worse.
Now, the idea of tackling waste isn't brand new, and this timeline kind of shows that journey. It really kicks off back in the early 2000s with policies that were mostly focused on solid waste, recycling bins and landfills. But as you move forward in time, you can see the policies getting way more sophisticated, eventually leading to these big, comprehensive national strategies for a circular economy. This groundwork really set the stage for a much, much bigger idea.
And that bigger idea is, you guessed it, the circular economy. This is the framework, the solution that's designed to finally plug the leaks in our economic bucket.
So what is it exactly? Well, a circular economy is a systems solution. It's not just about recycling a little more. No, it's about fundamentally redesigning our entire economy to tackle these massive global challenges, like climate change and waste and pollution, by finally moving away from that dead-end take-make-waste path and creating a closed loop instead.
And it's all built on three brilliantly simple principles. First, eliminate waste and pollution, right from the start, from the design phase. Second, circulate products and materials, keeping them in use for as long as humanly possible, always at their highest value. And third, and this is so important, don't just protect nature, actively work to regenerate it. So, the key takeaway is that it's a proactive model, not just a reactive one.
Okay, so how do we take these huge ideas and apply them specifically to water? Well, it turns out there's a blueprint for that too.
It's called the 6R framework, and it's basically the practical how-to guide for the water sector. It starts with an obvious one: reduce our consumption. Then reclaim water by treating it. Then reuse that treated water for things like irrigation. Then you recycle it to an even higher quality. Then you recover all the valuable resources from what's left, like nutrients and energy. And finally, the most important R of all, rethink the entire system from the ground up to be totally waste-free.
All that theory is great, right? But what does this actually look like on the ground? Well, let's take a quick tour and check out some absolutely incredible real-world examples.
First up is Chile, and let me tell you, they are not just dipping their toes in the water here. They've created an entire national roadmap to become fully circular by 2040. It's this incredibly comprehensive plan that's built on 4 key pillars, everything from innovation and new regulations to shifting the culture and empowering local territories. It's the whole shebang.
And their approach is just brilliant. In Santiago, they're turning old wastewater treatment plants into what they call biofactories. This is a complete paradigm shift. Instead of just cleaning dirty water, these facilities are becoming resource-generating hubs. We're talking producing clean water, electricity, natural gas, and fertilizers. The goal is nothing short of zero waste and total carbon neutrality. It's a powerhouse of circularity.
Okay, next, let's head over to Bolivia, where this quote just perfectly captures the social power of circular water. A community of farmers gave up the land needed for a new plant in exchange for one simple thing: the right to use the treated water. So here's the story behind that. Initially, the community was totally against the plant. They were worried about bad smells, about their property values dropping, the usual stuff. But everything changed when the project offered to provide treated water for their crops. Just like that, conflict turned into collaboration. A problem, the wastewater,
actually became the solution to another huge problem, their need for reliable irrigation. It just goes to show how these circular solutions can solve social and economic challenges at the very same time.
So as you can see from these examples, this journey is already well underway. So let's zoom back out for a second and really look at the fundamental shift that this all represents.
This slide just nails the transformation. On the left, you've got the old linear model. Water gets used once, and wastewater is seen as a problem you have to get rid of. But on the right, you have the new circular model. Here, water is kept in circulation. Wastewater is seen as a valuable resource, and the whole focus is on recovery, not disposal. And the result? Way less pressure on our precious natural system.
And this isn't just some niche fringe idea. I mean, just look at the data on this chart. The number of academic publications on the circular economy and water in Latin America is climbing, and it's climbing fast. This shows some serious momentum. It means more researchers, more policymakers, more engineers, they're all taking this seriously and building the knowledge we need to make it a reality across the entire region. Which brings us to our final question. The examples from Latin America show us what's truly possible when we completely rethink our relationship with waste. They prove that our city's wastewater systems don't have to be a liability. They can actually be one of our greatest assets in the fight for water security. So what do you think? Could every city turn its waste into a wellspring? Thanks for tuning in.